From WNDU TV, this is 16 News Now.
And just, heartbroken and devastated by, kind of the news today is, just kind of hard for folks that know her. Jackie was, a tireless worker and just, cared a lot about this area.
Good evening, I'm Terry McFadden. It's a story we've been following since it first broke this afternoon. 2nd District Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, as well as 3 other people, died in a horrific head-on crash in Elkhart County. Walorski was 58 years old. It happened on State Road 19, south of State Road 119, north of Napanee. Investigators say a vehicle driven by 56-year-old Edith Schmucker of Napanee crossed the center line, crashing head-on into a vehicle Walorski was in. In the vehicle with Walorski, St. Joe County GOP chairman and longtime Walorski staffer, 27-year-old Zach Potts of Michiana, and Walorski's communications director, 28-year-old Emma Thomson of Washington, D.C. Our Ibrahim Samra was at the scene of the crash today and has more.
It's a scene that still leaves many in shock.
It's something that you never wish for anyone.
4 people dead in a fatal car crash, including Congresswoman and South Bend native Jackie Walorski. According to the Elkhart County Sheriff's Office, it all happened just after 12:30 on State Road 19 in Napanee. That's where police say this red Buick crossing over the center line into the southbound lane, hitting this Toyota RAV4 head-on. Inside the Toyota, Walorski and 2 of her key staffers, 28-year-old Emma Thomson and 27-year-old Zachary Potts, all whom died. A witness on her way home from work speaking with 16 News Now tonight, explaining what she saw moments after the crash.
I saw the vehicle spinning, and headed towards my vehicle. I threw my phone across the car, slammed my car in park, and just ran as fast as I could to the first car. I just wanted to help people, and I feel guilty because I threw my phone in the car. Instead of calling 911, I threw my phone and I ran. And I think that cost like 3 minutes,
But you ran to try and help them.
I did.
The sole driver of the Buick, 56-year-old Edith Schmucker of Napanee, pronounced dead at the scene, one that has since been cleared but will never be forgotten.
I saw some really, really awful today that I will keep with me for the rest of my life. I don't know, it was, I'm really sorry.
Reporting in Napanee, Ibrahim Samra, 16 News Now.
Walorski's husband, Dean Swihart, was informed of the crash by the Elkhart County Sheriff's Office. A post from her official account says she has returned home to be with her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Please keep her family in your thoughts and prayers. President Biden issuing a statement tonight saying she spent a lifetime serving the community that she grew up in as a journalist, a nonprofit director, a state legislator, and eventually as a member of Congress for the past 9.5 years. We may have represented different parties and disagreed on many issues, but she was respected by members of both parties for her work on the House Ways and Means Committee on which she served. We send our deepest condolences to her husband, Dean, to the families of her staff members, Zachary Potts and Emma Thomson, who lost their lives in public service, and to the people of Indiana's 2nd District, who lost a representative who was one of their own. Former President Trump also releasing a statement on Truth social media tonight, calling Representative Walorski a good friend, a wonderful woman, and an impassioned advocate for the people of Indiana. We worked together very closely, and I was privileged to know her for many years. May the families and loved ones of Jackie, Emma, and Zachary find comfort during this tragic time. They will be greatly missed. Back at home, Governor Eric Holcomb reacting to the news, saying, at every level of public service, Jackie was known to be a positive force of nature, a patriot, and a relentless policymaker with an unwavering loyalty to her constituents. She'll be remembered as a fighter with a huge heart that always went the extra mile, and I'll treasure the times we walked a few of those together. She and the example she set will be missed every day forward. And there's an absolute outpouring of tributes to Congresswoman Jackie Walorski. We have many of those on our website, WNDU.com. Monica Murphy is live outside Representative Walorski's office in downtown Mishawaka tonight. And Monica, you talked with Ethan Hunt, who says Jackie was his mentor for over a decade.
Yeah, that's right. But first, though, before we talk about that, I want to talk about these flowers right outside of Jackie's office. People have been coming all night to pay their respects. She clearly made an impact on so many people's lives. You will also see a little candle right here as well. But again, she just made such an impact in people's lives. And Ethan, who we talked to, says that she really spent her life adding value and serving other people. And he also talked about the importance that, she really lived a significant life versus a successful life, which is so much more important. So let's listen to some powerful sound from Ethan. Take a look. 25-year-old Ethan Hunt is still processing the devastating news. He met Congresswoman Jackie Walorski at an election party when he was 13 years old.
She genuinely cared about every person, whether you agreed with her or disagreed with her. She was strong in her convictions. She was a role model.
Hunt says Jackie was a mentor and jumped on an opportunity to intern with her.
She served people like they were her family.
They always kept in touch.
When I would text her, it would be 30 seconds and there was a response. And I'm like, she's the congresswoman, she's busy, she's on the House floor. Every once in a while, I'd see her on the House floor and I'd shoot her a text just to see if she would actually respond, because I was like, there's no way she'll respond, right? She responded during a State of the Union. The last thing that I ever said to her was, take care of yourself, with a heart emoji.
Hunt opened an academy last year called the International Soccer Academy of America. Jackie was there for the ribbon cutting.
She didn't have to come to the ribbon cutting of a tiny little school, but she did because she cared. And those 20 kids mattered to her.
Hunt shares what he's going to miss most.
I'm going to miss how she remembered everybody's name. And I just pray that whoever comes next will honor her legacy.
Yeah, really powerful sound right there. And Lucas Miles, who is a pastor in town and a really good friend of Jackie's and Zach Potts, one of the other victims, says in a statement, quote, "Today our region experienced a devastating tragedy. Congresswoman Walorski was a shining light in the community and impacted thousands with her smile." And I just want to take an opportunity to say how she personally impacted my life. She was always so kind, really, to everyone at our news station. She always asked how we were doing. She had this amazing presence about her, and she is going to be missed. Terry.
All right. Monica Murphy reporting live tonight from the district office of Jackie Walorski in downtown Mishawaka. Monica, thank you. And again, this evening, a small memorial stands outside Walorski's office in downtown Mishawaka. Today's tragedy is being felt by one of her former opponents, current U.S. Ambassador to the Vatican, Joe Donnelly, as well as St. Joe County Commissioner Andy Castelny.
When I heard about Jackie, the first person I called was Zach. And then when I got his voicemail, I just got this lump in my throat, in a pit in my stomach, because I realized, of course he was with her. I mean, that's where he always was. And I just felt sick to my stomach. And even though I had heard about, Jackie's news, I wasn't sure about Zach. And then, worse fears happened. And Zach was such a great young man. And he and Jackie both are going to be missed. I didn't know Emma very well. I met her a few times. But Jackie and Zach were as good as they get.
He's my friend. I mean, we ran against each other, but she was still my friend. And I know her family, her husband. But what makes it so incredibly sad, it's so awful, the tragic loss of Congresswoman Walorski, but then the loss of 3 additional people as well. It's a real body blow to our community. And, we can pray for all the families right now and just try to give them strength to get through this.
Across Michiana, we're hearing from mayors who remember the life of Congresswoman Jackie Walorski. Take a listen.
My history with Jackie goes back 10 years when she first came into the U.S. Congress, and now as mayor, I saw no less passion in her working here locally to help our community.
I mean, there's a reason why she received the vote she did, and she's won by pretty good margins at times. So there's a reason for that, because she did the work and she was representing her constituents well.
Every time I would see her come into a room, she just had such a presence, such an energy, that she became the focus of the room. And she used that to make connections with her constituents. And they really always appreciated that, I think. And when she would work a crowd, go through, shake every hand, not leave one hand not shaken, but she made a very personal connection with people.
And we want to take a moment now and look back on the life of service of Congresswoman Jackie Walorski. Mark Peterson remembers her.
Jackie Walorski was 2 weeks away from her 59th birthday, working to win her 6th consecutive term in Congress in November. Jackie Walorski lived much the same way she died, on the move, meeting and greeting constituents. A day ago, there was this social media post from the McDonald's in Winnemac. A week ago, she posted these photos from the Elkhart County Fair.
And just, heartbroken and devastated by, kind of the news today is, just kind of hard for folks that know her. Jackie was, a tireless worker and just, cared a lot about this area. And it's such a shock and surprise to everybody. And
Walorski was a local television news reporter who then held several jobs in higher ed before finding a home in the Indiana House in 2004. There she quickly earned a reputation as a forceful advocate.
She was a bulldog, sort of fighting for the folks back home, and it was. I'm glad to have had a front row seat to see some of that.
When Walorski decided to try national politics, she handpicked her state house successor. Tim Wesco was just 25 years old at the time.
Her passion is always something that inspired me, and when she decided to run for Congress in 2010, I wanted to continue that passion. She was a huge influence in our community.
Walorski lost her first bid for Congress to Joe Donnelly in 2010, but she beat Brandon Mullen in 2012 and has held on to the seat ever since. Walorski leaves behind a husband, Dean Swihart, who is a music teacher in the Mishawaka schools.
Earlier today, an emotional Michigan 6th District Congressman Fred Upton speaking on our air. Here's what he had to say.
I fly back and forth literally every week, and I usually fly out of South Bend, and she's usually there too. And we spend time. One of us gets through security, TSA, before the other. In fact, the TSA folks even tell us, "Oh, your friend Jackie's ahead of you," or, "Where's Jackie today?" if I'm ahead of her. And we sit together. I watch constituents. I mean, we're noticed. People know that the two of us when we're sitting there, and people come up, and they're all so gracious, so understanding. Just hard.
And today in Washington, Senator Mike Braun paused to remember Walorski on the Senate floor. Take a listen.
I get the tragic news. It's hard to come up with the words to say, how did that happen and how do you get through it? But for most of us, and especially in my case with Jackie, one of the first great Hoosiers I got to know on my own journey. She will be missed, and our condolences to all of the families.
Senator Mike Braun, just one of many politicians paying their respects to Congresswoman Jackie Walorski tonight. Our D.C. Bureau's Peter Zampa has more now from Washington.
Lawmakers here on Capitol Hill are saddened and shocked after the passing of Indiana Congresswoman Jackie Walorski and her two staffers. The messages are flowing in from both sides of the aisle. The Congresswoman served Indiana's 2nd District in Washington for nearly a decade. Part of her duties included a spot on the powerful House Ways and Means Committee. Texas Congressman Kevin Brady is the top Republican on that committee. We spoke with him shortly after Walorski's passing.
Jackie was just full of life. She could light up any room she's in. She often referred to herself as a happy Hoosier. And for us that worked with her, she's brought so much joy, so much passion. She's brilliant. both legislator and as a person. And I'll tell you, there was nothing she couldn't do.
Michigan Democrat Dan Kildee also worked with Walorski on Ways and Means. He said in a tweet, "This is terribly sad news. Jackie was a friend and colleague in Congress on Ways and Means Committee. Despite being on different sides of the aisle, we found many bipartisan issues to work on together. My thoughts are with Rep. Walorski's family and the families of others killed." After news of Walorski's passing, Speaker Nancy Pelosi ordered flags be flown at half-mast here on Capitol Hill. The White House also announced it will fly flags at half-mast. Reporting to Washington, Peter Zampa, 16 News Now.
And this was the scene at the White House earlier today. The American flag has indeed been lowered to half-staff to honor Jackie Walorski. Governor Holcomb also ordering flags in the Hoosier State to be flown at half-staff. Resident and business flags should remain at half-staff immediately until the date of burial. Well, just last November, Walorski visited our studios to thank our former chief meteorologist Mike Hoffman for his 27 years of service at WNDU. Here's how it sounded.
The Indiana 2nd Congressional District, I want to present this to you, Mike, for your future endeavors, thanking you for what you've done and who you are. Thank you. You know, there's so few ways as members of Congress that we...
Jackie Walorski had a soft spot for local news personalities, as her first job out of college was as a TV reporter right here in South Bend. A life taken too soon. Jackie Walorski was 58 years old. We're back with new developments on the Highland Park 4th of July shooting. The man accused of that mass shooting, killing 7 people during a parade, pleaded not guilty during a hearing today. Robert Cremo wore a blue prison outfit and blue mask in court. The 21-year-old is being represented by a public defender. He faces 117 counts, including 21 counts of first-degree murder. Cremo's parents sat and watched as the arraignment took place.
In hindsight, they deeply regret what had. They deeply regret the actions that their son had taken. Obviously, they're still devastated. They're part of the community. They're part of the Highland Park community. So they're here to express, their sorrows their sorrows. Want to make sure that everyone is safe, and apologize to any of the families that have been affected by it.
If convicted on charges of first-degree murder, Cremo faces life in prison without parole. Developing now, one person is dead after a single vehicle crash in Cass County. The victim's been identified as 17-year-old Landon Taggart of Dowagiac. It happened around 4:30 this afternoon on Peavine Street and California Road in Pokagon Township. That's when a large tree limb fell on a vehicle. The impact caused the vehicle to hit another tree on the other side of the road. The crash remains under investigation. After the break, Andrew has a look at your First Alert forecast. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We take a live look outside at Elkhart, where the flags are at half-staff after today's tragedy out in Elkhart County. We did have a cold front move through Michiana earlier on this afternoon and this evening, sparking showers and thunderstorms. A few of those, again, did produce some damaging wind gusts, as well as some heavy rainfall, as well as a lot of lightning. That did drop our temperature from today from the 90s down into the 70s, but this dew point temperature is still sitting at that miserable level into the upper 70s, and that air you can wear is going to last all the way through this upcoming weekend. Check out this video that we received earlier on this evening from St. Joe as these showers and thunderstorms moved on through parts of Michiana. Look at that tree branch that just fell there. In fact, here's another look at that tree branch that fell up into St. Joe. Thanks to Greta for sending in this image, and there were, again, some reports of some scattered damage across the parts of Michiana earlier on this evening and earlier on into the afternoon hours. Severe weather threat across the entire area has ended. We continue to track, though, a few lightly scattered showers, mainly south of US 30, mainly from Warsaw, Syracuse, Napanee, and over towards North Judson, Winnemac, Rochester, down towards Fulton. These will continue to work their way out of Michiana, but we will have another round of some spotty showers that will try to greet us closer towards daybreak tomorrow morning. We'll likely get a break into the morning hours before another round of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, non-severe, try to work their way into parts of Michiana as we head towards parts of the afternoon and early evening hours. But that air you can wear, again, it's going to linger all the way through the weekend. Chance of a few upper 80s to lower 90s return as we head on into this weekend. Next chance for storms to watch heads our way Sunday afternoon and evening. Matt Locke's back next with a look at 16 News Now Sports.
Big week for local baseball fans as the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are adding one of the 574's top prospects for a second day in a row. Penn infielder R.J. Cromartie announced his decision to commit to the Irish this afternoon. And this follows the commitment of South Bend St. Joe outfielder Jace Lee on Tuesday. Both are incoming juniors in the class of 24, and in Cromartie's first interview since committing to the Irish, he said there is a big weight off his shoulders after finding his home.
Feels amazing, you know. It's been a long dream of mine to come here, and I'm happy to finally make it come true. It's really indescribable right now, just to be here and know that I'll be playing here in a few years. And growing up, it was always my dad. He was telling me, you need to go to Notre Dame. I want you to go to Notre Dame. And I was just like, nah, man, I want to go to college. I want to enjoy it. But then as I got older, I just kind of flipped it and started coming here more often, and I just realized this is the place I wanted to be. You know, just being here, my family can come watch. I'm not traveling to Indy all the time, so I'll be close to home and people in the city can come out. I definitely feel like I bring local talent, some athleticism, and just happy to be here.
And Terry, not long after I started here, Jackie was one of the first people to welcome me at a basketball game. Of all places, a high school basketball game.
Well, she liked TV people. She was one herself at one point in her career. All right, Matt, thank you very much. Well, Andrew will have a final look at the weather when we come back, but first, your lottery numbers. Well, we had a pretty rough afternoon in the weather department, but things seem to be calming down.
That's right. Things are calm across Michiana. A few spotty showers are still out there, mainly south of US 30. And as we head on into Thursday, we're going to dance around a few scattered showers and storms, mainly into the afternoon. And again, these will be very hit and miss. 10-day forecast here. We're going to continue that humidity all throughout the weekend. The one thing you'll notice tomorrow and Friday is those actual air temperatures will be lower into the 80s.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. And that'll do it for 16 News Now at 11. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And stick with 16 News Now as we continue to honor Jackie Walorski after she and 3 others died in a horrific head-on crash in Elkhart County today. We have a full story with tributes from lawmakers and community members right now up on our website. Jackie Walorski, dead at the age of 58.